You're listening to Wealthy-esque. We are a community of lawyers who believe that true wealth is having control of our time. I'm Ro Thomas, and as a busy wife, mom, and former Big Law associate, I know all too well the tension between the culture of the legal profession and pretty much everything else you want to do in life. That's why each week I'm bringing you the information and tools you need to improve your money mindset and manage your money to create true wealth. Because ultimately, it's not about the money. It's about the freedom and flexibility the money affords. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. I hope you're doing well and having an amazing day so far. Today, we are talking about the value of awareness. So many of us are running our lives on autopilot and aren't even aware that we're doing it. We're going through the motions and not questioning anything or really being intentional about what we're doing. And it shows up in everything we have in life. Awareness is recognizing our thought and behavior patterns and really questioning them. Of course, we are talking today about money, but I want you to really think about how awareness can improve other areas of your life as well. With respect to money, I want to talk about the way we think about money and the way we manage our money, and more specifically, the way we spend our money. Our brains are running so many thoughts in the background that influence the things we do and the way we manage our money, but most of us have never stopped to question those thoughts. We just accept them as truth and operate accordingly. The same is true with the way we spend money. We are spending and not really thinking about where we're spending, how much we're spending, or whether we like either of those. So turning first to awareness with our thoughts, we've talked many times before about how our thoughts lead us to particular emotions and behaviors. There are concrete, factual things in the world: money, X amount of debt, Y bank account balance, the cost of an item. And then we bring our thoughts and opinions to those things, which creates our experience of them and ultimately the way we interact with them. And so looking at what you're thinking, especially in the context of your finances, is super helpful because you may not know some of the thoughts that you're operating from if you don't examine them. But those thoughts are impacting the way you're managing your money. I'm doing a free pop-up group for the month of April called the April Money Reset. If you're listening to this in real time, April 2022, please come join us. You can head to rothomas.com/reset, or you can search for April Money Reset on Facebook. But in the group this week, we talked about the impact of our mindset on the way we manage our money and how important it is to manage your thoughts about yourself and your money when you want to manage your money better. If you believe you're terrible with money, or you can't do it, or money is complicated, or whatever other similar beliefs you might have, you're going to handle your money a lot differently than if you believed you knew exactly what to do with your money. Money is simple, budgeting is easy, etc. The way we think about ourselves and our money is critically important to achieving the goals you have. So I gave the group a couple of exercises to help them explore the way they think about themselves and their money, and I'm going to share them here with you. So even if you don't join us in the group, you can still benefit. So the first exercise I gave them was to finish the following sentences about money. I've actually talked about these on the podcast before, but take a second and go through them again because you're likely in a different place with your thinking and or your finances than you were when you first heard them. So you'll probably receive them differently. But anyway, I had them finish these sentences. Money is. Debt is. Having savings is. People with money are. For my parents or caregivers, money was. And if I had more money, I would. So each of those sentences will reveal to you what you think about money, about debt, about savings, about having money. some of the unconscious conditioning that you receive from childhood about money, and thoughts about yourself and how you handle money. The other exercise I gave them was to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how much they believe the following statements for themselves, where 1 means they don't believe it at all, and 10 means they absolutely believe it. And for each one, I told them to list out the reasons that they rated it the number they did, and if it's not a 10, what it would take to make it a 10. So those statements are: I know what I'm doing with my money. I'm good with money. I control my money. I can figure out money issues. It's inevitable that I will pay off my debt. I can save money easily, and I know how to build wealth. So this exercise is going to show you all the things you're believing about yourself and your ability to manage money. The reason you rate each sentence the number that you do is going to create so much awareness around your thoughts about the specific skills in those questions. When you become aware of your thoughts about yourself and your ability to manage money, you can question them. Are they actually true? There are 2 sides to every story, so what else could be true here? You can decide if you like the thoughts and if you want to keep them. You can look at all the things you're doing when you're believing those thoughts. Are they things that will move you forward toward your goals, or are they things that are sabotaging your goals or keeping you stagnant? And when you start to unwind the thoughts that are unhelpful and really limiting you, you will start to make the progress you want to make with your finances. The way you think about yourself and money is the most important factor in managing your money. All the strategies are out there. There are countless books and podcasts and blogs and websites and all of that about managing money. The information is there, but the reason you haven't taken action on it is because of your mindset. The things you're thinking about yourself, the things you're thinking about money, the things you're thinking about your ability to manage your money. So changing that mindset, changing those beliefs that are holding you back, is a wonderful first step in getting you where you want to go. And then coupling that with the awareness of where your money is actually going is going to completely turn things around for you. So many of us spend money without planning ahead or even thinking about it. Many of us have no idea how much we're spending, what we're spending on, any of that, and we continue on completely oblivious to it all. A lot of times people will tell me how much they think they're spending on certain things, and when we actually look at it, it's almost always 2x what they think because we're pretty bad at estimating what we're spending. So a big part of achieving your financial goals is being intentional with the way that you manage your money. I've talked a few times about the simple process for managing your money better. The first step in that process is to figure out where your money is going currently. Knowing where your money is going gives you some data to work with. So you can decide if you like where that money is going. You can decide if you like how much you're spending in a particular area or the things that you're spending on. So in the April Money Reset Facebook group, next week is all about budgeting. And the first thing I'm going to do is give them the exercise of going through their previous spending for the last 1 to 3 months and just categorize it. I'm going to give them my budget template, which I've shared many times on here, but you can find it at rothomas.com/budget if you don't have it. And the point of this exercise is for them to gain awareness about where their money is going now. Most people have no idea where their money is going, which is why that's the first step in my process. So I invite you to do this exercise as well. Get the budget template, look back at your previous spending. I recommend the last 3 months because that'll give you a really good average of what you're typically spending in these different categories. 1 month might be abnormally high or abnormally low, so taking the average of the last 3 months will give you a good gauge. But if you don't want to do a full 3 months, that's fine. Doing at least 1 month will give you at least some data to work with. So look back at your previous spending for the last 1 to 3 months, figure out where your money is going. Then, once you have that and you can see how much you've actually spent in the different categories, go through and see if any of those surprised you. Decide whether you like what you're spending on and the amounts that you're spending. Notice if there's anything that you say you care about, but you're not spending money on. Notice if there are things that you don't care about that you're spending a lot of money on. One of my clients, when we did this exercise, realized that he was spending a quarter of his take-home pay on food, and that awareness helped him to decide that he was going to cut back. He's a foodie, but he doesn't like food enough to keep spending a quarter of his take-home pay on it. So he was able to redirect that money towards some of the goals he has that he hadn't been making progress on before we started working together. Ultimately, the awareness of how you think about yourself and money and the awareness of how you're actually spending your money is some of the most valuable data that you can have. It will help you completely turn your finances around if you want to do that. You'll see where you're thinking things that are not useful for you, and you can question those thoughts. And you'll also see where you're spending money on things you don't care about and can reallocate that money to move you forward toward your goals. So hopefully I have sold you on the value of awareness. It has been so useful for me in my finances and in other areas of my life, and I know it's been useful for my clients as well. So if you want to gain awareness every week on your thinking, on how you're spending your money to manage it better, let's absolutely work together. You can head to rothomas.com/call and let's set up a time to talk about what that would look like. All right, so that is it for this week's episode. Come connect with me over on social media, Ro Thomas on LinkedIn and at I am Ro Thomas on Instagram. Subscribe to the show and leave a rating and review. All of that helps more people to find the show. And please share this episode with a friend who would find it useful. As we close out, friend, I pray that you have the courage to explore and question your thoughts and the way you're spending your money. I pray that you will take actual steps to start creating the finances you want and not keep putting it off for later. And as always, I pray that you continue to take steps to regain control of your time, build wealth, and live the life of freedom and choice you deserve. Talk to you later.